Yes, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Today we have joined in Sunday's Dhamma reading session and Dhamma discussion. Today is 9th March 2025. Today we will be reading Sutta from Dīgha Nikāya number 30. The title of Sutta is the Marks of a Great Man. Lakkhaṇa Sutta. I will be sharing this. Yes. I will start reading, and once anyone can join me in reading. This is the website called Sutta Friends, where we have many suttas which are explained here. Dīgha Nikāya 30, Lakkhaṇa Sutta. The marks of a great man. Because of good actions he had done in the past, the Supreme Buddha had special marks on his body and special qualities related to those marks. In this sutta, we learn the exact actions he did to earn each mark. In this sutta, basically, there are 32 great marks of a great man. In this sutta, it elaborates what qualities are being, what qualities made the Buddha to have these different marks in the previous life. Like we will start with the introduction. This is how I heard. At one time, the Buddha was living in the city of Savatthi in Jeta's Grove at Anantapindika's monastery. There, the Buddha addressed the monks. Here, I would like to mention that Anantapindika monastery is one of the two major monasteries in Savatthi, where Buddha have stayed. And Savatthi is also a place where Buddha has spent most of the time, as it mentions. Bante, they replied, the Buddha taught this. Monks, there are 32 marks of a great man. A great man who possesses these marks has only two possible destinies, no other. If this great man continues to live in the place, he becomes a universal king, a righteous and compassionate king. His dominion spreads across the entire earth. He achieves stability in the world. He possesses the following seven treasures: the wheel treasure, the elephant treasure, the horse treasure, the jewel treasure, the woman treasure, the household treasure, and the counselor as the seventh treasure. He has over 1,000 sons who are brave and heroic and are able to defeat the armies of his own enemies. After conquering this earth surrounded by the seas, he rules it righteously without using weapons or violence. It was said that Buddha said that uh, if any person who is having these 32 marks of a great man, then there are two possibilities exist. One is the great man can become a universal king, and he achieves he possesses seven treasures, which is explained here as wheel, elephant, horse, jewel, woman, householder, and counselor. And he has over 1,000 sons who was brave and heroic, who can defeat the armies. And after conquering the entire world, he will be ruling without using weapons. But if this great man becomes a monk, he becomes a fully enlightened Buddha who tears the wheel of ignorance in the world. Monks, what are the 32 marks of this great man? May, can you read, May? Just, if possible.
Uh, yes,
Yes.
sure. Okay. So he has feet with level soles. That's the first one. Number two, on the soles of his feet, there are imprints of 1,000-spoked wheels with rims and hubs, complete in every detail. The third mark is he has long heels. And then the fourth mark is he has long fingers and toes. Then the fifth mark, number 5, his hands and feet are soft and tender. Number 6, his hands and legs are flexible. And number 7, he has high raised ankles. Number 8, his calves are muscular, like those of the any deer. So there's a picture there. Another
Yes.
name is black buck deer. So a specific kind of deer. I'm assuming that the calves of the deer are very muscular. Okay. Number 9, when standing upright and not bending over, he can touch his knees with either hand. So that means his arms are very long. Most of,
Yes.
I don't think we can touch our knees unless we bend over. Number 10, his male organ is placed as if enclosed in a sheath. Number 11, his complexion is golden and his skin has a golden sheen. Number 12, he has smooth skin, so smooth that dust and dirt don't stick to his body. Number 13, his body hairs are separated, one per pore. So this would be, so most of us, I recently, sorry, I hope you don't mind, I share a little bit just in
Yes,
case
yes, you
people
can share.
people don't understand this. I recently, through a team building opportunity, last year actually, not recently, had this because my colleagues wanted to go for this hair, treatment that you go to the salon, something like that. And they have this machine where it's like a scope. So they can just scan your skull, not skull, scan your head. And it's so detailed that it can show for each how many strands of hair come out per pore. And usually, mostly it's one, but sometimes it's 2 or 3 from one pore, and that is normal. So what this one says, point 13, means every pore, his body hair, only one hair is coming out from the pore, if that makes sense. Number 14, his body hairs grow upwards. They are blue-black and they curl clockwise. Number 15, his body is as straight as a Brahma's. Number 16, he has well-built muscles in 7 places. Number 17, his chest is like that of a lion, so symbolizing very brave, so to speak. So a lion's chest actually shows the lion's power, so to speak, because the lion is like the king of the jungle kind of thing. Number 18, the gap between the shoulder blades are filled in. Number 19, his body is equally proportioned and his height is 6 feet. So he's 6 feet tall. Number 20, his upper body is proportionally built. Number 21, he has taste buds that enhance the taste of food. Number 22, his jaw is like that of a lion. So a lion's jaw, you know, is very strong. So like that. Number 23, he has 40 teeth. Number 24, his teeth are even. So most of us, we have some kind of, you know, different people. Some people have good teeth, but some people have like crooked kind of teeth, and then they have to wear braces to correct it. But the Buddha's teeth are very even. And number 25, his teeth have no gaps. So it's kind of very nicely, evenly proportioned. Number 26, his teeth are perfectly white. And number 27, he has a long, wide tongue. Number 28, he has a Brahma-like voice, which is as sweet as the bird Karavika's call. So this must be a special kind of bird. Ah, okay, right. So they say it's a cuckoo bird. Yeah. So just yeah. 29, which I find interesting, is his eyes are deep blue. So given the fact that he's from the northern part of India, right, Kapilavastu, I don't think, but correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think many people in that region have deep blue eyes, I'm assuming. Am I
I too don't know.
Yeah, that's maybe I
But
shouldn't assume.
generally, very few people, I think it might be having deep blue. Very few
Mm-hmm.
people might be having this deep blue. Generally, we
Mm-hmm.
encounter, like we visit those places, but we did not encounter much. I do not remember whether I have seen deep blue or not.
Yeah.
Very
Okay,
rare.
good.
Yes.
Yeah. Number 30, he has big eyes like that of a newly born calf. So I'm guessing big in the sense of very, you know, how some people have eyes that are very energetic, like very bright kind of thing. Yeah. Number 31, between the eyebrows, so here, there grows a tuft of hair, soft and white like cotton wool. Number 32, his forehead is flat and tall. So some people have very broad, very tall forehead.
Yes. Paul, can you read, Paul? Fine, I will continue. There are there are the 32 marks of a great man. A great man who possesses these marks has only two possible destinies, no other. If this great man continues to live in the palace, he becomes a universal king, a righteous and compassionate king. His dominion spread across the entire earth. He achieves stability in the world. And he possesses the following seven treasures: the wheel treasure, the elephant treasure, the horse treasure, and the counselor has a seventh treasure. He has over 1,000 sons who are brave and heroic and are able to defeat the armies of his enemies. After conquering this earth surrounded by the seas, he rules it righteously without using weapons or violence. But if this great man becomes a monk, he becomes a fully enlightened Buddha who tears the wheel of ignorance in the world. Seers outside of Buddhism remember these marks, but they do not know the specific deeds performed in the past to obtain each mark. First mark is level souls of feet. In some past lives, past existences, past abodes, the Buddha was reborn as a human being. He firmly undertook and persisted in wholesome behavior, such as good conduct by body, speech, giving and sharing, taking 5 precepts, observing 8 precepts, paying respect to mother and father and virtuous people, honoring the elders in the family, and various other things performed to wholesome behaviors. Due to performing, accumulating, heaping up, and amassing those deeds, after death, he was reborn in heaven. There, he surpassed the other gods in 10 respects: divine lifespan, beauty, happiness, fame, power, sights, sounds, smells, taste, and touch. When he passed away from there and was reborn here as a human, he obtained this mark of a great man. He has a feet with the level soles. He places his foot on the ground evenly, raises it evenly, and touches the ground evenly with the entire sole of his feet. What is making here the first mark is level sole of feet. It was said that in the past, Buddha has a very good wholesome behaviors, such as very good conduct of body, speech, giving and sharing, following the precepts, and following the 5 precepts, taking 5 precepts, and observing 8 precepts, which includes not eating after noon, not using luxury seats, and like paying respect to mother and father, virtuous people, honoring the elders. Because of performing and accumulating this wholesome nature, he was born in a heaven, and there he surpassed the other gods in the precepts, following the precepts, and like following the precepts, and he surpassed some of the qualities like divine lifespan, beauty, happiness, fame, power, sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and touch. And after passing away from there, he was born as a human being with this mark as soles of feet evenly, and he touches the ground evenly with the entire sole of his foot. Normally, uh, normal human being doesn't have this entire sole of his feet foot. And this is a special mark of great man. Possessing this mark, if this great man continues to live in the palace, he becomes a universal king. He has the following seven treasures, which was already read. After conquering this earth, surrounded by seas, free of harassment by bandits, successful and prosperous, safe, blessed, and troubled, he rules righteously without using of weapons and violence. And what does he obtain as a universal king? He can be defeated by any human enemy. That's what he obtains as a king. But if he becomes a monk, he becomes a fully enlightened Buddha who tears the wheel of ignorance in the world. And what does he obtain as the Buddha? He can be defeated by any enemy, whether internal or external, nor by greed, hate, or delusion, nor by ascetic or God or Mara or Brahma or by anyone in the world that what he obtains as the Buddha. Like when with the great marks of a great man, if someone big they have two choices, one is as a universal king and one has a being enlightened. And what is be universal king is like he cannot be defeated by any enemy. And when he becomes a fully enlightened Buddha, we know the qualities of the Buddha, like he tears the wheel of ignorance of the world. Like there is no greed, hate, and delusion. This is what the Buddha said. On this, it is said. He practiced good virtues such as truth, merit, and self control and restraint, purity, five precepts, and eight precepts, giving, harmlessness, delighting in non-violence. He firmly undertook these good qualities and fulfilled them. As a result of good karma he made, he went to heaven, where he enjoyed happiness and entertainment. After passing away from there, he stepped evenly on this earth. The royal mark readers gathered together and predicted the flat soul shows the destiny of the great man, either as a universal king or a monk. While living at a palace, he cannot be defeated. He defeats his foes and cannot be beaten. Due to the fruit of that good karma, he cannot be defeated by human. But if he chooses the monk life and wisely loves that simple life, he will become unmatched and unsurpassed. No one can challenge him. This is the nature of the Supreme Person. Yes. May, can you read me? The wheel marks of the soul feet.
Yes, okay. So wheel marks on the soles of the feet. So that is the second quality. Monks, in some past lives, the Buddha was reborn as a human being. He brought happiness to many people, eliminating threats of thieves and terror of demons, providing protection and security, and was giving gifts with many friends. Due to performing those deeds, he was reborn in heaven. When he passed away from there and was reborn here as a human, he obtained this mark. On the soles of his feet, there are imprints of 1,000-spoked wheels with rims and hubs, complete in every detail and well divided inside.
Here, I would like to show the image which was there earlier. I think it may be coming down. Yes.
Okay. Possessing this mark, if this great man continues to live in the palace, he becomes the universal king. And what does he obtain as a king? He has a large following of people, treasury officials, military officials, guardsmen, ministers, counselors, sheriffs, and princes. That's what he obtains as a king. But if he becomes a monk, he becomes a fully enlightened Buddha. And what does he obtain as the Buddha? He has a large following of monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen, gods, humans, asuras, nagas, and gandharvas. And that's what he obtains as the Buddha. Yeah, so this is a very good translation. It has the links to all those explanations.
Yes,
so that's
yes.
very helpful.
Yes, correct.
Yes, okay. Do you want me to continue, Brother
Yes, you can
Sachin?
continue this one. Yes.
Okay. So that is what the Buddha said. On this, it is said, in olden days, in past lives, he brought happiness to many people by ridding them of fear, terror of thieves and demons, and keenly guarding and protecting them. As a result of the good karma he has made, he went to heaven, where he enjoyed happiness and entertainment. And after passing away from there and coming to the human world, he gained the wheel marks on his 2 feet, all rimmed around and thousands-fold. The royal mark readers gathered together and predicted, seeing the prince with marks of merits, the prince will have many supporters and the ability of defeating foes, which is why he has wheel marks all rimmed around. If he doesn't choose the monk life, he will rule the earth righteously. The ministers will be his supporters and will surround him always. But if he chooses the monk life and wisely loves that simple life, the gods, humans, asuras, demons, gandharvas, and nagas, birds and animals will flock to his fame, the Supreme One, honored by gods and humans.
Yes, I would like to show the spoke of wheels, which is shown here. This is the on the soles of feet that there are imprints of thousands spoke. This is actually rims and hubs. I think you may be knowing already. This image, which has.
So probably tiny, 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 like that kind of pattern.
Yes, yes, correct. He has long heels. He has long fingers and toes. His body is as straight as Brahma's. Monks, in some past lives, the Buddha was reborn as a human being. He abstained from killing beings and didn't use any weapons. He was ashamed of killing. He was very kind, living with full of compassion for all beings. Due to performing those deeds, he was reborn in heaven. When he passed away from there and was reborn here as a human, he obtained these 3 marks. He has long heels, long fingers and toes, and his body is as straight as Brahma's. Possessing these marks, if this great man continues to live in the palace, he becomes a universal king. And what does he obtain as a king? He is long lived. No human foe or enemy is able to take his life. That's what he obtains as a king. And what does he obtain as the Buddha? He is long lived. No foes or enemies, nor an ascetic or god, or Mara or Brahma, or anyone in the world is able to take his life. That's what he obtains as the Buddha. That is what the Buddha said, and this it is said. Realizing that every creature fears death, he refrained from killing beings. By that good karma he made, he went to heaven, where he enjoyed the fruit of deeds well done. Passing away on his return to the human world, he obtained these 3 marks. His ears are full and long, and is straight posture like a Brahma. He is handsome and well performed. He has strong shoulders and he has youthful, well built hands and legs. His fingers are soft, tender, and long. By these three marks of an excellent man, Mark readers indicated that the prince's life would be long. As a universal king, he will live long, longer still. If he becomes a monk due to mastery in the development of basis to psychic powers, thus this is the sign of a long life. Like even other suttas also, like if someone the other suttas of from Samyukta Nikaya, I guess, for the person having a long life, he needs to maintain a precept of first precept which we take to abstain from killing or harming living beings on purpose. And this is the precept being talked here, like when Buddha was in one of the lives in the past lives, he abstained from killing beings and usage of weapons, and was very kind and compassionate for all beings. And because of performing these deeds, he was reborn in heaven. And when he passed away from that heaven, he obtained these three marks, such as long heel, long fingers and toes, and his body is as straight as Brahma. And the reason being, realizing that every creature fears death, he refrained from killing beings. This is a very good karma which one everyone is performing who is following the precept. And because of this quality, he got this great mark. Yes, may you can read one. Yes.
Well-built muscles in 7 places. Monks, in some past lives, the Buddha was reborn as a human being. He was a donor of delicious and tasty foods and drinks of all kinds. Due to performing those deeds, he was reborn in heaven. And when he passed away from there and was reborn here as a human, he obtained this mark. He has well-built muscles in 7 places. He has well-built muscles on both hands, both legs, both shoulders, and his neck. Possessing this mark, if this great man continues to live in the palace, he becomes a universal king. And what does he obtain as a king? He gets delicious and tasty foods and drinks of all kinds. That's what he obtains as a king. And what does he obtain as the Buddha? He gets delicious and tasty foods and drinks of all kinds. And that's what he obtains as Buddha. And that is what the Buddha said. On this, it is said, he used to give the very best of flavorful foods of every kind. Because of that good karma, he rejoiced for a long time in the Nandanapa in heaven. To the human world, he was born with well-built muscles in 7 locations. He has tender hands and feet, the mark readers who are experts in mark reading declared. This prince will get tasty foods of all sorts. As a universal king, that is what that mark means. But even if he becomes a monk, he will get the same. He will be offered tasty foods of all sorts. He will cut off all bonds of the lay life.
Yes, very good. Here it is mentioning about the tasty foods which we eat daily. The reason being, the one of the past lives, Buddha in the past life, he was a donor of delicious and tasty foods and drinks of all kinds. And because of performing this deed, he was born in heaven. And then when he passed away from that realm, he was born as a human being and he was got well-built muscles in 7 places. And what happens if we continue like possessing this mark will enable like as a universal king, he gets delicious foods and tasty foods. And if he becomes a monk, he will also get delicious and tasty foods. It's a very good command there. Soft and tender hands and legs, flexible hands and legs. Monks, in some past lives, the Buddha was reborn as a human being. He brought people together using the four righteous way of making friends, giving kind words, guidance, and equality. Due to performing those deeds, he was reborn in heaven. When he passed away from there and was reborn here as a human, he obtained these two marks. His hands and legs are soft and tender, and they are flexible. Possessing these marks, if this great man continues to live in the palace, he becomes a universal king. And what does he obtain as a king? He will have well managed people, treasury officials, military officers, guardsmen, ministers, counselors, rulers, tax beneficiaries, and princes. That's what he obtains as a king. And what does he obtain as a Buddha? He will have a well-managed followers. This include monks, nuns, laymen, gods, humans, asuras, nagas, and gandhabas. That's what he obtains as the Buddha. That is what Buddha said. On this it was said. By giving and helping others, using kind speech, and giving equal treatment, such action and conduct has brought people together. He went to heaven due to this esteemed virtue. Passing away on this return to the human world, the young baby prince obtained hands and feet so flexible and soft, lovely, elegant, and beautiful. His followers are loyal and obedient, staying agreeable with all over this earth, speaking kindly, ensuring others' happiness. He practices the good qualities he's developed, but he gives up all worldly enjoyments. As a victor, he teaches Dhamma to the people. Devoted, they respond to his words. After listening, they practice in line with the teaching. It's a very inspiring. What do you say, May? Very good quality like giving and helping others, using kind speech, giving equal treatment
Yeah.
because of this
Um,
virtue. Yes,
yeah. It's not easy. Kind speech itself does take practice, like the fourth precept. And equal treatment also is not easy because we all have
correct,
perception, we have our judgment, we are colored basically. We have this
correct, correct,
lens.
correct lens.
So
We have some lens.
yeah, we have some lens.
Yes, yes,
And so this is not a easy virtue to cultivate, but the Buddha cultivated it.
yes. I think definitely by practicing this loving kindness meditation, one can have this equality using kind speech and giving and helping of others. What do you say, May?
Yeah, loving kindness definitely helps a lot. And I find that nowadays I am doing more loving kindness on myself first, because I also start to realize if I don't give myself enough loving kindness to myself or my body, let's say, it's quite difficult to be able to cultivate loving kindness for other people. So I try to remind myself that first start here within, and then it'll be easier to expand that.
Yes. Even Bantu Vamsi has added as one of the precept has to be loving and kind to self and all beings. This is true enough. I think we can stop here and have a discussion. Yes, May, do you want to share anything about your practice or anything related to practice?
I think, Brother Sachinji, thank you for selecting this sutta. I think how we should view reading this sutta is not just to view what are the marks that the Buddha had, but more what are the qualities that he cultivated. And we can try to cultivate those qualities, not so much as because we want to acquire those marks in the future, but it's when we read the qualities, it's also like a reminder to ourselves. If we cultivate these virtues, keep these precepts, then our future life, or even in this life, it will be smoother. It will be more beneficial for us, whether it's present life or the future. That is how I see it.
Yes, you said very correctly that we need to basically imbibe these good things, good qualities which Buddha has practiced in his life. And it is always like in general also, like whenever you see someone, whenever we see someone, what we need to do is we need to imbibe the good qualities from them. It's really good thing which you have said that we need to imbibe these qualities. Just reading of sutta is not a very good act, but imbibing the quality will make us more more changing. What I feel, you are rightly said. Paul, do you want to share something? Pi, do you want to share something? Otherwise, we will share the merits, sharing of merit. Yes, have nothing to add. Fine. Goodbye. Yes, I am sharing the screen. Yes, we'll read all along. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and air, devas and nagas, mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sa, sa, sa. I wish all happiness to all. May you all be happy. Thank you,
Sadhu,
May.
Brother Sachinji, just a quick question.
Yes, yes.
Will you plan to continue the sutta in another session?
No problem. You can continue, and in other session I can continue. There's no worries.
Okay, okay, we can WhatsApp
Yes,
each other later.
yes, yes. There's no worries.
Okay, thank you so much. You
Yes,
enjoy
thank
rest of
you.
your weekend, rest of your week.
Thank you. Thank you, May, for coordinating. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Paul. Thank you,
bye-bye.
Pai. Thanking you all. Thank you.
This
Bye
sadhu
bye.
sant.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.